Hello, everybody. We are back.
Hello everyone, so we're going to do a video just talking about our first outdoor experience. Well, we went camping in our camper.
House car.
Yes, we did a 4-day stint, and just to compare um, how I guess things were different living in the city and being out in the woods. I grew up in the woods, so from my childhood I kind of remember how it was being out in the middle of nowhere. But I think that there is a call to nature that is pulling us back to that direction. I think humanity, but maybe some people won't hear it. I don't know. But we need to talk about the differences.
So, she grew up in the wilderness and whatnot. For me, it was only probably my teenage years that I really was out in the woods. Not too much of that my time was. So it's a bit of a difference. But the thing is, we both really, really enjoy being outdoors. It is a great time. So we went for 4 days to kind of get a test run of what we're going to be doing. This is what we're going to be doing all the time. Here in a couple of weeks, this is how we're going to live. We wanted to try it out, and we loved it. It was amazing. A little bit cramped, but amazing. You want to start off with any of the things that you really noticed about yourself when you were over there?
Well, so I guess this is more for, I'm not sure how to just physical things that were different, or differences in, but maybe you should start off.
Okay, for me, I noticed as soon as we were there, it's after a little bit, I was starting to feel very calm. Normally I can get a little irritable over certain things, but I was very calm. Everything was very collected, and I was very happy. I was very relaxed, and I felt lighter too. I don't feel like being back in the apartment again. I feel really heavy, really dense, and I could feel everything's so thick, and I don't like it.
So I guess that was I guess one thing I want to compare to is, I know everyone knows a little about chemtrails, when they spray chemicals in the sky. If you don't know about them, you can do some research on them. And many scientists actually, confirm that chemtrails are chemicals being sprayed in the sky that adversely affect the plant and the wildlife and the earth, basically. So anyway, the whole chemtrail thing, well, we're obviously in a big city, so we see chemtrails quite a lot. What I noticed out we were at a state park, way out in the wilderness, but I noticed that there weren't any chemtrails. I think the first day we were there, it was kind of rainy, cloudy. Second day we were there, sky was perfectly clear. I think they sprayed one chemtrail. And then the next day we were there, because it was a Friday or some event maybe was going on in town, I don't know, but they peppered the sky. Holy crap. And then the day after, it was clear. The last 2 days it was pretty much clear. I think the second day maybe they put 3 or 4 up, not as many as the day before. But and then the last day there was none. But it is interesting, the whole trend with how I did chemtrail watching once, so I definitely can see that when there's, obviously if you're in a big city, they spray them more, or if it's a weekend, or if there's some sort of event going on, they seem to put tons and tons of them up. And what is interesting is that definitely it was kind of, definitely and this may be the chemtrails, more than likely the chemtrails, but each evening was cold except for that day that they sprayed tons and tons and tons of them up. And then the sky clouds kind of came in, it got a little windy, and it was warm that night, really warm that night, probably a good 10 to 15 degrees hotter, would you say, that night when they sprayed all those chemtrails in. And then the next morning it was back to normal. Next day it was back to normal.
Definitely. I noticed the heat because it kept me up. It was really hot at that night. I was trying to vent out our house car and everything. It was quite overwhelming, and everyone was a little bit crankier that night too.
Yeah, so it's interesting that I almost used it as a as a sort of tester of how chemtrails actually do affect the people in the environment, but also the environment itself. And I've noticed this before, that whenever chemtrails are put up, it seems like after a minute it gets super cloudy and then windy, and it either rains or something, they blow over, or it rains, and then the next day it's clear. So it's almost like, I don't know if they are prompting the clouds, and like I know they can make clouds and rain and whatever, but I also wonder if Mother Nature is like blowing it away too. Like they put a ton up and Mother Nature comes through and like blows it all away, and then they start fresh again. But we definitely felt the difference in the air and in ourselves that day, especially that they put tons of chemtrails up. So we can start there. Some of the differences we noticed.
One of the big things is like we were already there for 2 days, so we kind of like knew what it was like being there. The air was really fresh. Everyone was like everything felt really clean. And then the third day when they peppered the sky, I was sneezing. The kids were sneezing. My eyes were getting a little bit more dry. My head started getting itchy. I even noticed like the camp host and all that other stuff was like started sneezing and stuff too. And most people probably just attribute it to like, oh, it's allergy season still, right? And there was just some wind yesterday, so it probably just knocked it all up in the air. But there was definitely more to it than that. I think it has something to do with the trails.
Yeah, definitely. So that aside, yeah, and I noticed those things too. Like here in town, especially where we live right now, like even after we changed our water filter, there's a lot of itchy, dry skin issues that went away after changing our water filter, but still have this like itchiness on the head. I'm like, well, maybe we have like some weird, like, I don't know, like some kind of parasite or something where every once in a while your scalp gets itchy. When we were out in the wilderness, that was completely gone. Like until that day they sprayed the chemtrails in the sky. And then it came back. So, but anyway, that's just a little bit about that part. But some other things we noticed about being out in the woods, just in general, just way more energy. Like the ability to think clearly, and like you can close your eyes and like your thoughts actually like come and stay. Like there's not as much interference, I guess you could say. We didn't seem to eat as much. And I feel like our strength was like, it was weird. It was like you're getting energy, or you're being recharged from, we walked a lot barefoot too. It's like you get recharged from being out in nature and like actually having your bare feet on the ground, and you really feel that difference. It's very interesting.
Yeah, definitely. It's like you just felt more compelled, just like naturally compelled, like to, well, at least for me especially, it was like just to do physical activities or like just do stuff or be out there. Like I went on way more walks than I normally would, longer walks than like would do calisthenics and whatnot, and just really just enjoyed it. It was just fun to do, and I felt like I wanted to do it instead of being like, oh, okay. Like if you go to the gym, you're like, it's almost like a chore sometimes. But I felt like I was like, I need to do this. This feels great. I want to. And it was kind of an amazing experience because it felt like a natural strength and not a very mechanical strength.
Yeah, it's definitely like you feel this like weird, it's like a connection with like the earth and everything around you, like this. I know I was out there. Actually, do you have anything to add to this part? I was going to add my meditation. What do you call those? Like just thoughts that come into your head when you're meditating.
I only meditated one time while we were out there, very briefly.
Yes.
But definitely my thoughts came to me very clear, and I was able to think about what I wanted to do and made it happen very easily. It wasn't like okay, constantly like distracting things all around and all that other kind of energy. It's like it's a very calm energy too. And it's like I didn't feel like I had to be doing anything, but I still wanted to do things, but not like in a rush. Everything was just felt like this natural flow to it. I was very happy to be a part of that too.
Well, it's like there's definitely especially when you're in the city, there's other people in the city, obviously, right? And there's like a collective consciousness that you're picking up on, or it's interfering with your own thought patterns, and probably not the best way if you're not really wanting to be in city life. So taking yourself out of that and putting yourself in nature, you really pick up what nature has to offer, I guess. I don't know. I feel like I want to say more about this, but it's sounding like a really boring conversation. I don't know. But I do want to say a couple of, I don't know if you want to call them messages or whatever. When I was hiking one of the days, like I think there's three important things. So one was underneath because they put electrical wire poles up for electricity to run through, obviously, and like the area, the plants and the rocks directly under that. It's like they I don't know if they were speaking or what, but I got the sense from them that yes, they are affected by these electrical waves that are coming from the electric poles or whatever, and that has damaged, not really damaged, but has like hindered their 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 consciousness, or their growth or something. But it's made them sick. Okay, I'll just say the words that I heard, I guess. They are sick. Yes, they are, from the electrical waves, and they're not as healthy as they could be. But at the same time, it was okay, because this is just part of the process, I guess, of existence, and they're happy about, because it's moving in a good direction. I guess it's all, this is not gonna, it's, they're healing. They're moving toward healing, I guess, or something like that. So I guess I took that to mean that you could expand that out to all the pollution and everything, the bad things, quote unquote, that are going on in the world. Yes, there's things that seem like they're bad, and there are things that are being affected from it, but the actual consciousness of it, especially if they're not talking consciousness things, I think they understand what's going on in the world right now, and how the energies of the world are affecting them in a negative or whatever way. But they also see that where the direction is going, and it's going in a good direction. So there's healing universally that we're moving toward, and everyone is looking forward to that. Maybe that's the way I don't know. And another one was, that's another thing. So the sun, when you're out, obviously in the wilderness, out in the city here, what we've noticed about the sun is that we don't see it very often because they put chemtrails up a lot. But when you do, it's high in the sky, but it's super bright, and it's really hot also. So we sun gaze, but obviously you can't sun gaze, or it's hard to, obviously, when it's super bright, right? Out there, it didn't seem like it was as bright or as hot, but it was bright in a different way to me. I can't really explain it, but I was sun gazing, and then this thought came also that was so it was something about how not everyone can appreciate because you get a lot of benefits, spiritual benefits too, from sun gazing, and the whole awakening of the consciousness and everything. But that availability is not for everyone necessarily, is what I was getting. And so maybe that's part. It's not like it's purposely hidden. The sun is purposely hidden, but it's almost like if you're not really looking for it hard, you're not gonna get to it easy. Something like that. It's, well, I don't want to say it's a privilege, but it's almost like it's a gift for the awakening consciousness to be able to see the sun more as it is, and actually sun gaze and get a direct link from the sun. But I don't really know what that means, but that's kind of what.
That's something that you realized while you're out there.
Yeah. Anything else?
No. You pretty much got covered for me too. It was a very interesting experience. The sun definitely was you can feel the energy from it, and not just oh, it's a hot ball and it's hot on my face and it's really bright. No, it actually had a different kind of healing energy, and you could feel it all around you. Everything was taking it in, absorbing it, and using it. And not when you're on, because we've been in the city a lot for the last couple of years, and it's all just taking in everywhere else, the buildings and the energy, all the Wi-Fi and all that stuff is it's just clouding it and changing it, distorting it, and it's affecting people. It's affecting everyone. And yes, I do agree that it's there's a select few people that are gifted with this opportunity to kind of go out there and
it's not. It's you're gifted with it if that's what you choose. If you choose that and are really serious about it, then you're gifted with it. So it's not. I feel it's not just whatever you choose your path pretty much, and a lot of people just aren't choosing that path. So, but yeah, continue.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. But definitely, the whole experience was very magical for me, and I'm already longing to go back. And I've only been away from that for a few hours.
It was definitely, if anyone is so inclined, you should certainly, if you haven't. But the thing is, a lot of people go camping. Like, there were other campers that came through and left, but it's like a different experience, I think, I don't know if it's when you're already like on the path of conscious awakening that it makes it different, or if it's the fact that we know we're going to be doing this pretty much long term in a couple of weeks here. So it's like a lot of people go camping or go on vacation and camp with the idea in the back of their head that they're going to go back to the real world and work, 9 to 5 for another 6 to 12 months, or however long people work. Yeah, I don't know, because I'm not doing that anymore. But it's a different experience knowing that this is you, because you're made this part of you now. But yeah, definitely try it.
Yeah, definitely. So hope everybody has the opportunity. Definitely look into things like van life, RV life, and just kind of getting out and kind of breaking away from the system. If it sparks that interest.
If it sparks your interest.
Yeah, definitely. All right, everybody. That about wraps it up. Anything else you'd like to add?
Nope, that's it. Everyone have a good one.